$360,000 a year. That's how much you can make using this sales funnel as an online sports coach. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the exact step-by-step strategy that you need to take inside of your content if you wanna make $360,000 a year as an online sports coach. If this is your first time here, my name is Nick. I run an online consulting company where we help sports coaches achieve time and financial freedom by implementing the online mentorship model so that way they can train more athletes, make more money, and create a life of real freedom. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I got an absolute banger for you, all right? So first things first, I wanna number one, appreciate my beautiful drawing here where I talk about this sales funnel, okay? If you've been on this channel before, you know that everything that I talk about, or if you're a current client of mine, then you know that I talk about attention, trust, conversion. One of the biggest problems that I see with people just getting into online coaching or just internet marketing in general is they're trying to sell too early. We want to lead with value, okay? But first, we need to get their attention. So with that being said, I'm going to walk you through the exact posting cadence and strategy on who we need to be talking to, principles, examples, all that different type of stuff. It's going to be super tactical. Get out a pen and paper. Okay. So first things first, we need to get the attention of our ideal clients. I'm going to stand on this other side because of the shadow. We need to get the attention of our ideal clients. Okay. So we need to be making posts strictly designed to get attention. A lot of people are trying to do all three of these at once. Okay. So a good litmus test you can ask yourself is, what am I trying to accomplish in this piece of content? Am I trying to get attention? Am I trying to build trust? Am I trying to convert? You're not trying to do all three. I will repeat, you're not trying to do all three. I'm talking to every single one of my clients watching my videos right now. You are not trying to do all three, okay? So once we understand, I am only trying to make posts designed to get people's attention, right? That is the number one, that is the first thing we need to focus on. We want to post this daily, and ideally, we're posting 3 times per day, okay? If you can't do that right now, that's fine. It's something you want to build up to, right? But we're going to be posting daily, and we are talking to people who are ice cold. They do not know who you are. That's what ice cold means. They don't know who you are, which means you need to talk to them in your content as if they don't know who you are, right? You can't open up the video like, hey guys, what's going on? My name's Nick. No, scroll. Nobody cares, right? You got to get their attention ASAP. So when it comes to the principles, you got to win their attention. We're not trying to sell, and we want to have broad hooks that are widely relatable to a large group of people, okay? So I run a lot of paid advertising on my Instagram. If you want to check out my Instagram, you can go ahead, go over to my page. I literally implement this type of stuff, right? And usually I'm like the paid ads guy, but recently I've been trying to mess around with organic just a little bit. And I've realized that the broader topic I go, right? So I talk about like my college career, those tend to get the most views, right? So what does that mean? We want to go as broad as we possibly can with the topic and with the hook. The more broad and the more catchy the topic and the hook are, the more likely it is to reach a large group of people. All we're trying to do is get as many people coming into the top of the funnel, okay? It literally does not matter if we have a bunch of people who we can't help watching our content, because it's gonna get pushed out to more people who we can help if the topic is still relevant on the niche, and then we're gonna funnel them down with the next 2 steps, okay? So we want broad hooks, broad topics. That is the most important thing. When it comes to examples, we see like B-roll videos with just like a little bit of text on the screen and then read caption work exceptionally well. They're super easy to consume, right? Storytelling. So for example, I just told you about, when I was in college, I went 0 for 38. I almost dropped my pen. I went 0 for 38 at one point, and that has like the most organic views of a talking head video I've ever done, right? Ads. I'm a big proponent of ads. Now, if you're not already making at least $5,000 to $10,000 a month coaching athletes online, and you're not posting consistently, ads are not going to help you, right? That is for somebody who's already doing it and they're already $5,000 to $10,000 a month online, and they're already posting consistently. They're already posting maybe 1 to 3 times a day. By the way, if that's you and you want my help to scale past $360,000 a year, with online coaching, you can go ahead, check out the link in the description with our online coaching program, okay? But if that's not you, or you just want to keep watching the video, another thing that you could do is step-by-steps, right? Step-by-step. So you want to be very tactical. Most people, and this is something that my clients get wrong all the time, they give away free tips and then they go, why do all these people only want free tips? It's like, that's what you led with, okay? So this is a double-edged sword. You can give away step-by-step processes to people, but understand that a small percentage of people who come in, like let's say you get a video that gets 100,000 views, don't think that all of a sudden you're rich because you made one video that got 100,000 views. Okay, number one, most of those people only want free stuff because everybody only wants free stuff, right? That's kind of how the world works. You watch these YouTube videos right now, you're like, oh, frivolously taking notes, like, oh, I'm gonna get so much value from this free stuff, right? But you're not willing to join my coaching program. It's the same stuff with people who watch you on Instagram, okay? Now, when it comes to building trust, once we win the attention of people, right, we want to build their trust. And we want to do this every single day so that we're constantly bringing in new people, constantly winning their trust, and then constantly converting people into our program, okay? So when you're building trust, obviously we want to post daily. We're talking to people who already know who we are, right? They know of us, but they don't know you, right? You may be watching this because you saw one of my ads. Maybe you got a call coming up with my team. Maybe you're trying to figure out if like we're actually legit, which at this point is absolutely insane. We've helped hundreds of people. We could probably help you too if you're watching this video. But you probably know who I am, but you don't know me. Like you don't know my background. You don't know my story, right? So building trust with people is like telling the story, getting the message across, and relating to the person on a very personal level, okay? So principles, authenticity and proof win. But above all else, like yes, you want to be authentic. Yes, you want to show proof. You want to tell your story, right? Because people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And the more you get to know somebody, it's like, it's a cognitive bias. It's called familiarity bias. The more familiar you are with somebody else, the more you're likely to trust them, right? So the more that you can learn, or the more that you can engage your audience and share your story with them, the more likely they are to trust you, which is what they need. There needs to be some sort of trust in order for them to buy a high-ticket coaching program online, okay? So some examples of that are obviously testimonials. I run a ton of testimonials. And they have made a huge difference in my marketing. They don't get the most views, but they build the most trust, okay? They're fantastic. Personal journey, okay? If you are selling to a younger version of yourself, then by you telling your own personal journey, overcoming the challenges that your target athletes are facing right now, and then showing them that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, not only does that help build trust because you're being vulnerable, but it also shows like, hey, there's hope for me. I actually could get better. Because a lot of people, they have these limiting beliefs around like if it's actually possible for them to get results, right? You may be skeptical that you could make $360,000 a year as an online sports coach. Of course, but as somebody who's, done $30,000 a month as an online sports coach and a lot more than that in my consulting business, and then dozens of people I've helped make, $30,000 a month with online sports coaching, like I know that it's possible, right? So I'm here to inspire you. Amazing, okay? Then we want to show real life. So if you look at like my Instagram posts, every single Sunday I'll post like a personal carousel where I'm just showing like Nick in action, right? The people who watch those, they build a lot of trust with me because they get to see like the lifestyle that I live in the day-to-day, right? They really get to know who I am, okay? And then the fourth thing is value, right? So think about this video that I'm giving to you right now. My sole purpose, my sole intention with this video is to build your trust, and a certain percentage of people are gonna wanna work with me, right? Because I'm delivering you real value in real time, okay? And so think about how you can deliver real value in real time to your younger athletes, right? So you could do it through YouTube videos, you could do it through Instagram, you could do it through stories. There's a bunch of different ways. I have a bunch of other videos on my channel that you can watch that literally give away all the sauce, okay? Then, once we won somebody's attention and we built their trust, then it's time to convert. Now, in the past, I've talked a lot about conversion-based content that is just direct calls to action, like saying, hey, if you're a baseball player and you want to hit for more power, but you don't know how, then DM me, right? Yes, that is conversion-based content, but that is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to conversion-based content. I think of bottom of funnel, conversion-based content, and bottom of funnel, I mean, obviously we got the funnel right here. Bottom of funnel, conversion-based content is speaking to somebody who's in the red zone, right? They're already thinking about it. Maybe they've already been on a call with you. Maybe their friend is in their program and they're trying to do their research on if you can actually help or not. They're in the red zone, right? The best things that we can do here, number one, polarity, okay? Polarity. We want to take a stance on something and throw rocks at the other side. What we're doing is we're forcing people one way or another. They're going to have an opinion about you. And if you're afraid of other people having an opinion about you, that's fine. But everybody else who's not is going to take all the athletes online. So the choice is yours. However, we want to be polarizing. We want to share our real beliefs. One time I was on a call with a client. He pulls up his Instagram page. And I was like, yo, bro. And by the way, I got a testimonial with this guy, $13,000 a month coaching athletes online. He was like making, $3,000, $4,000 a month online. And I was like, dude, I can't disagree with anything you're saying on your profile, and that's a problem. You're way too nice, right? And then he did back-to-back 10K months the last 2 months. Shout out to the boy. One of the biggest things that he did was he was a lot more polarizing in his content. Okay, the second one, which is super important, that I think a lot of people, when they see polarizing content, they take this the wrong way. They start attacking people, not beliefs. I think you should attack beliefs and not people, right? Because the person isn't bad inherently if they have these limiting beliefs that are holding them back from getting further, right? They're not a bad person because they're limiting beliefs. Their beliefs are bad. So we attack the belief, we don't attack the person, and then we insert a new belief for them, and then that builds even more trust with that person because we show them a new way of thinking about something. That may have been a new piece of information for you where you're like, whoa, that's mind-blowing, that's really good. Now you trust me more because I changed your beliefs, right? Okay, so actual tactical examples of that. Number one, yaps, right? Literally just talk to the camera and speak your mind, okay? You could do that on your reels, on you could post reels that way. I also really like the story. I like writing on stories. Like a lot of my clients who do the best, they're very consistent, like writing on their story or just like talking head videos. They get off a sales call with somebody, somebody's got a bad belief, somebody in the DMs has a bad belief. Boom, immediately they make a video of it, it's up on their page. Now they're creating this polarity within their audience to pull closer the people who are in the red zone and then push off the people who were never gonna buy in the first place anyway, okay? It'll save you so much time and your clients will get way better results. You'll have a way better community. You'll be able to charge higher prices if you do what I'm saying, right? If you don't understand anything that I'm saying, then obviously you could work with me directly one-on-one inside of my coaching program. Check out the link in the description. The last thing is a CTA, direct DM CTA. This is overplayed. I don't need to go into that. This is the $360,000 a year online sports coach funnel and full marketing strategy. Obviously, if you want my help, already told you. If you just want to watch on YouTube for free, that's totally cool. I'm fine with it either way. Hopefully you got a ton of value out of this. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.